Hello, my beautiful beings. How you all doing today? Well, I hope. So this video is going to be about capacity and forgiveness, but we're gonna go a bit deeper into capacity and forgiveness. Okay. So what really stemmed this process of reflection for me was I was taking a look at the picture at the Last Supper. And the moment that's caught in that picture is the moment of grief after Jesus said the statement, "Someone here will betray me." Right? And so just the theme of that and dealing with the energy of betrayal myself, it kind of made me think, right? Now, I went a little bit deeper into the picture and kind of like, all that good stuff. And so for me, experiencing betrayal for myself, right? And the process of judging people, right? Like you have all these, so on the picture you had all these different people, you had all these different characters that were being portrayed through that image. And so taking it back and like looking at it in my life and my experience, just thinking about like the different people and probably the different emotions they were acting out of when I experienced the betrayal, right? And so sometimes you have people who unintentionally do things. And so basically what I was having when it came to my intuition and spirit, just making it clear for me when it's like I have the right to call judgment in regards to how I respond to how people treat me, but I have to be very careful about judging someone's character and who they are when they do what it is that they do when it comes to the betrayal, because I have a perspective of me and how I want to be treated and how I want to be honored for who I am and how I'm showing up. But I also have to like take a step back and have an understanding of what a person may be acting out of when they do what they do, right? Whether that's because Judas, he was acting out of greed, right? And so like just being mindful of the energy people may act out of when they do certain things that cause you to feel a certain way, right? And if they're being intentional or not, you have to understand what they say, your Peter from your your Peter from your Judas, right? So you have to understand that when people are intentionally acting out of greed, and when people are just like in the ebbs and flows of life themselves, dealing with their own emotions, dealing with their own ego, and so it's like very important to not project a character or project a certain, I don't know what word I want to say, but just project a persona onto certain people when you don't have the full picture of what it is that they may be going through, right? And so spirit was making that very clear to me. My intuition was making that very clear to me when it came to my discernment of how harshly I judge people, and when it comes to calling judgment and how I respond in treating that person, what I'm acting out of, right? When it comes to that feeling of betrayal, when it comes to that feeling of anger, when it comes to that feeling of, just not being honored, right? How I expect to be honored. And it's so crazy because there's so much going on right now to where this is just like, whew, okay, like it's a lot to process right now. And so that part, right? And we also know, so just going back to like Jesus, because I was thinking, okay, well, first let me get out the part of Jesus. Him having the capacity to sit there with his betrayal, with his betrayer. Him having the capacity to still eat at a table with somebody who would ultimately cause his death. Him having the capacity to still love, right? To still cohabitate with a person operating in the energy of greed. You get what I'm saying? Like him having the capacity, even though he was like grieving and all the grief, you know, with him knowing like ultimately, you know, like the capacity he had to just not just burst out in anger, okay? Not just be like, motherfucker, I know what you gonna you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh, y'all, it's a butterfly. Look, y'all, it's a butterfly. You see it? Oh, it's a butterfly. Oh my God. Did y'all see it? I don't even know if I caught it. Wait, hold on, because I need y'all to see this. Oh, don't run. Okay, hopefully y'all caught that. I don't know if y'all caught that. But, yes. So, y'all, that's beautiful. Hold on. That is so crazy. Wow. Like, it's very rare. It's very rare that I be seeing, anyways, I saw it. Okay. So, anywho, back to what I was saying. Like, the capacity that Jesus had to not just, like, to just go off on a loose end with his emotions, like the capacity to just stay centered in like, I'm aware of what you doing, but I gotta do what I was called here to do, right? Like I gotta honor myself. I gotta honor who I am. At the end of the day, I might know you go woody woo, but I gotta stand on business. I gotta stand on business. I gotta stand on who I am, right? And so that being reflective in a way of like me, right? And me dealing with grief and me dealing with the betrayal of people that I actually thought were my friends, people that I thought were my loved ones, people that I thought were who could see me, right? Because we're not just talking about a random person that decided to walk up to Jesus and betray him. Like, no, we're talking about somebody that was in his camp. Somebody knew the power that he had. Somebody knew the miracles that he could perform. Somebody knew what he brought to the world. You get what I'm saying? He was betrayed by somebody that was close to him, right? Somebody who saw him. Hello? And so my thing is, when it comes to my experience with betrayal, I do in a way think that these people saw me, right? Even before I saw myself, even before I'm at full awareness of who I am, right? And the beauty that I am. And dealing with that grief of just thinking like people who I thought I was getting close with, people who I thought that, you know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. And so like right now, like in this energy of like just feeling so angry, like feeling so angry, right? And what spirit has been telling me in regards to like be human, right? And so it brings me to the aspect of like a lot of us want to have this capacity like Jesus. A lot of us want to have this faith, right? To be able to walk on water and all this good stuff. Like all of us want to be at the fullness of just all this power to bring things in and to make miracles happen. I don't know if all of us do that, but I know I aspired at some point, right? I aspired to be as loving and to be as kind and to be as gentle and just to have the fruit of the spirit. Like I really do aspire to love my brother how I want to be loved, right? And being given the permission, because I know I have the capacity. And it's crazy because of the experience that I've been going through when it comes to betrayal. Like, this is kind of like why I took a step back from my page for so long, because I was going through the darkness. Like, if y'all really knew me in 2018, 2017, 2019, and it's so crazy because this butterfly is coming back, and it's just, to me, it's speaking on like the transformation that I went through, right? Like having to go within my cocoon and like really like dissolve myself, really like dissolve, really like, y'all, like really having to like go through that process of just, I don't even know how to like verbalize it or articulate like the experience that I went through over like the past 5-6 years of like going within. And I don't even want to say that I actually went in to my full capacity. Like, I didn't even go as deep as I would have enjoyed to go deep, right? But it was more so using those tools of reflection and mirrors, using it and being aware of the gratitude, right? Like, I think parts of the attitude of gratitude is what allowed me to make it as far as I have. But like this, there's still like this part of me that really has to go through the acceptance of what I went through to really be grateful and to understand who I am today, right? Like, I still have to go through that process of acceptance of what I had, of what the mirror taught me, to be grateful for the transformation that happened, right? The transformation, wow, this butterfly, y'all, of the transformation that really like happened when it came to me, right? So again, just speaking of like grace and positivity and love and light and all of this good stuff. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm still her. Like, I'm still a being of love and light, but I think that I had to honor going in the darkness. Oh my gosh, y'all, I want to get a picture of this butterfly. Like, oh, she's sitting right here on the tree for me. Oh, hi, beautiful butterfly. Oh, sometimes I feel like the universe be talking to me sometimes, like my heart right now. Y'all, let's just have a moment of silence for the old version of me, because I really had to go through a period of grief, y'all, because I was so attached to the version of myself that wanted to show up in love and light, but the naivety and the passiveness and, oh well, let it go, and oh, it's not that serious, oh, it's not that deep, but now I have an understanding. Now I have more clarity about why. You know what I'm saying? Now I have a understanding, because I have a deeper understanding of myself and some of the things that I do, with the anger that I experience, with how I may treat certain people. I think at some point in life, like, I was so naive to myself and like my intentions behind doing certain things, that when certain people did certain things, I'd be like, well, why are you treating me like that? Like, why are you behaving this way? Why are you doing me like that? And it wasn't until I really got to know myself and understanding my own movements that I could really like see like the reflection in the mirror of like, oh well, maybe this is why a person, and just being able to accept it, right? Being able to accept people for who they are, because now I can come to a place to accept me for who I am and all of my flaws, all of my mistakes, all of the, you know what I'm saying, like all of the past judgments and the judging of people's character, and not fully understanding that sometimes you have to go through that process with yourself. Because a lot of times we like to judge other people without looking at ourselves, right? Of like, why did that even happen? Like, why did you even allow this? Like, so much, right? And so it's just taking me back, like, oh my God, y'all. Don't move. I was about to pick up the phone so y'all could see how this butterfly literally just sat here. It's just sitting here now at this point. And I was about to move the phone to pick it up, and she started flapping her wings. So I'm gonna let her be. I think this is just a moment for me and her. Oh my God. I hear you, girl. I see you. And so just going back to like Jesus and his capacity, and understanding like, yeah, all of us have the capacity for that divinity. All of us have the capacity for that type of spirit, to be gentle, to be kind, to be joyous, to be loving, to be forgiving, and all of those things. But also, we're human. We're gonna make mistakes, and this is why we have to have the fruit of the spirit. This is why we have to be gentle. This is why we have to be loving. This is why we have to be joyful, because we all carry this capacity of darkness within us. And so it's not about judging somebody for their darkness, but seeing them and loving them anyways. You get what I'm saying? And just that being reflective of like Jesus with his Judas and his Peter. Like, Jesus saw who Judas was, but he had to accept it and love him anyways, because at the end of the day, he still had to be who he was called to be. He still had to do what he was meant to do here, with all of the miracles, the power, and all of that good stuff that he had. Like, he still had to stay grounded in who he was. And even when he was on that cross and he was like, God, why have you forsaken me? Even when he went to prayer and he was asking like, God, why have you forsaken me? Like, he still had his moments of human, right? Like, he was still human at the end of the day, of where he grieved. He still grieved, but how did he show his grievance? How did he act out his grievance? You get what I'm saying? And so I don't say this to say that like I'm gonna be perfect, because like, oh, I see, and so just because somebody do me wrong, I'm not gonna respond a certain way. Like, I know that I'm still gonna be tested here on this realm, right? Like, I'm still gonna be tested, I'm still gonna be tempted, but it's about just honoring me at the end of the day, like, and still like being able to love folks for who they are, still being able to love myself for who I am, even when I make my mistakes. And I wanted to talk about like the capacity and the capacity that he had to grieve, right? And the process that I went through with some of the people closest to me, and like certain things that I dealt with, and like the capacity that I had to love anyways, right? Like, please don't get me wrong, like, my perspective has changed, like, when it comes to certain people, in regards to, now I know who you are now. And it's not like now I know who you are to me, now I know. It's like, now I know. And again, this is not judging somebody's character, right? I'm not judging anybody's character. I'm just seeing people for who they are and loving them anyways, right? And so even when it comes to me seeing people for who they are and loving them anyways, like, I still have to call judgment. So it's not judging somebody's character, but because I see who you are and the character that you play in my reality, now I have the understanding of what judgment I have to call for myself to protect myself and do what I need to do in regards to honoring who I am, protecting who I am. Y'all, it's a bird. And so this is where I'm going with like calling judgment and then judging somebody's character. Y'all, my stomach is hurting. And so I don't know if that means like now I have this capacity to be rooted here. I am in this world but not of it. To be rooted here in this world, but know that I don't have to give in to the nature of the human experience. Like, I'm allowed to experience the human experience, but I can be so rooted and grounded in who I am in spirit and in my divinity that this is simply just an experience. I don't have to internalize everything that I go through. I don't have to internalize everything that happens to me. I don't have to make those things how people treat me. I don't have to become what people may project onto me. I don't have to become how people may judge me, because I'm gonna tell you one thing when it comes to me just being who I am and showing up how I show up, and again, people maybe not being able to see me, and because they don't see me, they project this idea of who I am, of who they think I am onto me. I don't have to accept that. I don't have to internalize that. I can accept that, hey, this is how you may see me, and that's okay. That's okay. You have that right. You have that freedom to call judgment. You have that freedom to treat me how you want to treat me based off the value that you have of me. But that does not have to determine what my value is, right? Because I also have the right to call judgment and move how I deem necessary. Like, I don't have to be bothered with you just because you're around me, or I don't have to be bothered with you just because we cross paths. I don't have to deal with you. I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? And so even when it comes, so that's the capacity part, but the forgiveness part is, for so long, I think I'm going through the process, right? I'm not even gonna say going through, but I'm going through the process of learning how to forgive others for how they treat me. But now I need this time for myself, right? And forgiving myself for putting up with all of that for so long, like for putting up with having to with internalizing, like, well, this is who I am because this person treated, like, no, like, now that I'm I don't even know what word to say, but now that I can see myself, if that makes sense, now that I can see myself for who I truly am, through seeing past my mistakes, seeing past my flaws, seeing past my imperfections, and seeing the wholeness of who I am, because I am a human, and I am going to make mistakes, and I am going to have flaws, and I am going to be imperfect, and I am going to sin. I am going to fall short at times, but because I have the capacity to see past those things in the nature, my human nature, like, I still can love myself enough to, like, forgive, right? To forgive myself for even putting up with things just because I am flesh. Like, people want to, and we've been programmed through the religion, like, because we may give in to our flesh, because we may give in to anger, because we may give in to, like, the nature of who we are, that somehow we're bad people. Somehow we're not. Like, at the end of the day, we're not. We're simply human, and we just have to discipline our flesh. We have to discipline ourselves. It's not saying that, oh, you can never have sex, you know what I'm saying, because that's a sin. No, you can have sex, but have your boundaries. Be disciplined in how you partake in those activities. When it comes to eating certain foods, like, yeah, you can have certain foods, but be disciplined in how you eat that food. Like, don't be a person that eat 80% meat and 20% vegetables. Like, yeah, you could treat yourself to a steak. Yeah, you can treat yourself, and I want to be very mindful of, like, what foods to eat, because certain foods that you put in your body, like, you have to, like, you still have to honor the makeup of your body, right? You still have to honor the temple. And so just because I'm saying eat steak, that doesn't mean that I'm saying go eat pork. You know what I'm saying? And even if you do eat pork, let it be a limit to the pork that you eat, because every 7 days your body cleanses itself. And so let's say you have pork once a month. Okay, that means you've given yourself 28 days to cleanse that out of your system. And so that's what I mean by the discipline and the balance when it comes to the body. Like, yeah, you can enjoy certain things of this world, or you can enjoy certain things in this world, but don't be so consumed by it, right? And so, yeah, I think that's more or less what I wanted to get into as far as, especially as far as, like, forgiveness. Like, please give yourself permission to forgive. Once you see yourself, once you realize that it's okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Like, It's okay. And I think I've had to tell myself that because I think for a long time, for a very, very long time, because I couldn't show up how, like, I had to realize that I'm not gonna be for everybody. Like, I'm not gonna, when it comes to me being authentic to myself, like, I'm not gonna please everybody. And I think that came from that people pleaser mentality that I had, and just growing up and just wanting to, like, y'all, it's so much that go into this. But, like, just understanding where my people pleaser mentality came from, and wanting to be accepted and wanting to be loved, right? I had to really, like, people ain't always gonna give it to you. I don't care how you show up. I don't care how nice you are. I don't get, like, sometimes it's not gonna get it with some people, and you have to accept that. And I've learned to accept that, and I've learned to forgive myself for, I'm learning to forgive myself for condemning myself and punishing myself because I couldn't fit the narrative that other people wanted me to fit in their lives. So things that they did were justified. Like, again, you have the right to call judgment. You have the right to do whatever it is that you deem to do. But just because you see me a certain way, that doesn't mean that's who I am. And so I don't have to fit into that narrative of who you believe I am so that you can feel okay with who you are. Like, no. Like, I'm not gonna keep making myself the bad guy for other people to be okay. Like, no, stand in your mirror. Be your mirror. Again, you had to be a mirror to me, so I'm gonna be a mirror to you. That's what we're here for. And so me being able to stand in my truth, stand in my authenticity, like, that should help you get a reflective of, like, okay, well, what do I need to do for myself at the end of the day? Like, me being me is not it's not me operating out of a spirit of conflict. It's not me operating out of a spirit of competitiveness. But if that's how you see me, when you look at me standing, that means that's something that's going on with you. Like, and y'all, I'll come back for another, when it comes to, like, how I had to integrate all of this understanding and the different experiences that I've had and how I reflected on like, maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. Like, right now, I really just want to enjoy life. Like, I want to embody the version of myself that I'm becoming. And yeah, that may be through me sharing my videos and sharing my perspective and sharing my experiences. And it may be another way, whatever I feel called to do. But right now, I just want to kind of, like, chill. Right now, I just want to chill, get into my vibe, get into myself, get into, like, really loving and honoring myself. But I also, like, there's this thing where I know I don't want to hold all of this to myself. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to keep and, like, safeguard all of this to myself, because I want to be able to show people what is also hidden from themselves, because for a long time I was hidden from myself. A long time I was in the shadow of myself. And so now I can bring me, the wholeness of who I am, to the light, and be abundant in who I am, and be and embrace every aspect of me. Because again, I used to just operate in love and light, but a part of me hid in the shadow because I was afraid to make mistakes, because I was afraid to hurt people, because I was afraid of not doing right by people, or I was afraid of, oh, if I say this, I'm gonna offend. Like, I'm tired of dimming my light. I'm tired of dimming my light for the comfort of other people. Like, especially when I know I'm not hiding, I'm not keeping things in secret because it goes against other people. I'm not doing things in secret because I'm holding things back, because I'm offensively doing things in the background. Like, no, I'm not holding myself back because I'm over here operating and doing this and I'm wishing bad or wishing this on you. Like, no, that's not even where I'm at with any of that. Like, I'm literally sitting in the background of my own life because I want other people to feel beautiful, because I want other people to feel good about themselves, because I want other people to, and it's like, no, I need to feel good about myself too, whether people want to validate it or not, whether people want to see it or not. And so, yeah, that's it. Love y'all. Till next time.